You're watching The Whole Living Show on Trajectory TV.
Acolo fost profesionalul de serviciu care te înjura, te-o blestema, te-o ăsta și ți-o fura mâncarea.
Unde?
La Dilca, la Sfântul Nicolae. Să nu fie toate numai pentru bani. Acum, deja numai pentru bani. Că toți donațiile și astea, și donațiile privesc copiii, nu?
Da.
Privesc copiii. Donațiile se pune în
The purpose of this documentary is to raise a universal alarm on the extreme poverty levels in which families and over 41.5% of Romanian children live in. Some children go to bed without eating. Some eat every 2 days. 8 in 10 Romanian children in orphanages are not even orphans. The extreme poverty levels of their families forces the parents to abandon their children, either in an orphanage, a placement center, or with a family member, so they can go abroad and work. Even more alarming than the rising poverty levels in Romania are its ramifications: neglect, child abuse, child labor, rape, trafficking, school abandonment, children ending up in the system, in prison, or even worse, dead. Now imagine a world in which all children can grow up in a loving family with proper food, access to education, sexual education, access to proper mental health and physical health, access to integration programs. Imagine these children having the same chance in life as our children. Let's be family to these children. All of us, together. Let's be the answer to the end of poverty and social exclusion. Join our forces and help us build a better world in which families and children of Romania flourish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Whole Living Show. I have to tell you, my beautiful guests waiting backstage, they were jamming off of the show opener, as was I. So they just brought me some real joy. Just now, had me really smiling. They were dancing and everything back there. So love you guys back there. But tonight we have a special show for you, everyone. Listen, before I go into who's here and what we're going to be talking about tonight, though, I wanted to share something here that's happening locally. My son is home today. He was home from school, had to do school online, and will be home tomorrow as well because there are bats in his school. So how they got in there, we don't really know. But the bats have pretty much infested the school, so much so that they had to close the school for 2 days yes, exactly. They had to close the school for 2 days in order to fumigate the school and remove the bats. So that is what's happening here locally in my local high school. Hello to the beautiful people, Jamie Lane and Eric Scott. We appreciate you for being here as well. Make sure that you are commenting and joining the conversation. But that's all I really wanted to share tonight, because I do not want to take up much time from my guests here. We are going to be discussing the Legacy of Hope tour in Romania that is coming up. They are leaving on May 4th, and it will be from May 4th to May 12th. So we want to just talk about this mission and why hope is so important, and why Romania even. So we're going to bring in, right now we have Amy Joy, the beautiful Amy Joy. We're going to bring her in. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Hello.
I'm excited.
Me too, me too. And we're also going to bring in Janine and Tracy as well. Hello, hello. So I saw all of you, like Amy's head was going, and Janine and Tracy were doing like this hand movement. And I was like, that gave me such a good chuckle, and it brought me so much joy. But music is so therapeutic, right? So it was good to see you guys moving as the opener was playing. But we're not here to talk about that, right? We are here to talk about the Legacy of Hope tour for Romania. So I want to ask you, all three of you, and all three of you can answer, why? Why did you decide to join Dr. Loren Michaels Harris in this effort to bring hope to Romania? Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Loren mentioned it, and as soon as he said it, I said, I'm in. And I didn't know any of the details, but I just knew in my heart that this was something I was supposed to be part of. And now, as all the details have fallen into place, I'm like, this is why, because this is the real deal. Like what this group is doing, and we're partnering up with Hope for Kids on the ground there in Romania, and we're bringing inspiration and hope, and it's what makes the difference for change. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to be part of it. Super grateful.
Amen. 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 So Tracy and Janine?
I just want to piggyback off of what she said, because I didn't know the details either. And as soon as I found out about it, I'm like, I'm in. But I want to add on to that as we started finding out more details, more and more and more, I'm like, nope. We are absolutely meant to go.
I think this is going to be beyond this event. I think it's going to go way into the future, helping.
Nice.
It's like we plan on doing certain little things, helping out what we can. But I think we're going to get more joy than we actually give.
Yes.
In this venture.
Agreed.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And that was something that Loren talked about last week as well, because he was on last week as well. But just the hopes that, this extends so much further, and that, hoping too that kids here that are connecting with the letters will also have these relationships that they build with the kids in Romania for so many years to come. So I just love that you extend it. And I'm going to tell you guys something that I saw. I when I put the name up on social media today, I was saying the Legacy of Hope Tour Romania. But what came to me was, this is going to extend to other countries as well. Like, I don't see it just stopping here. So when you guys said that, it made me just think about what I thought about when I just read the title even. I was like, this is going so much further. Like, this is going to go out. This is going to be Legacy of Hope, another country and another country and another. I could just see this going really far. So I love that you said that. The one other thing I wanted to mention too, and what I love about when people come together, and I have my Power of We shirt on, so I have to show that, right? Because Dr. Loren always talks about, it's not me, it's we, and what we do together makes such a bigger impact. But when you think about that too, when it comes to coming together and being really purposeful and intentional, I love these efforts because you know exactly where the resources are going. There's a lot of large organizations out there, and this is not to knock any of them, because I'm sure that they do their best, and I'm just gonna, remain hopeful that they're doing their best, right? But to be able to talk to you guys and touch you guys and know that you're very intentional about making sure that all the resources that come in for this effort are going to go right to the children and the families that need it. So talk about that, about being able to go in on the ground and make sure they get what they need.
Well, I love it, and we're all assigned a day that we're responsible for. So I have day one, and so it's about $2,500 for that day to help those 40 kids, and because we're bringing food. Food is really special and precious, and the food that they presently eat, often it's not very often. And the other thing is that it's not super exciting food. It's basic food. And so we're going to be spoiling them with really beautiful, yummy food. And that's always a beautiful thing. So it's the first day is we're going to a shelter for domestic violence. And it's Loren, so intelligent and wise in kinds things. And I've been through that, right? I've had that experience. And so it just really warms my heart to be able to that's my day. That's all my energy and intention is going towards that. And of course, all the other days as well. But to be able to have that day, that, it's really, really special for me.
Amen. I would love to play your video, because we have that here as well for your day. So let's do that. Let's play Amy's video, because I just want everybody to see
Angel
that.
Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And before we
Hello, my name is Amy Joy, and I am so honored and privileged to be part of the Power of We Symposium going to Romania, May 5th through 12th. This is a tour of hope. In the 1990s, we learned about 170,000 children in the system in dire situations. It is much better now, and we are going there to celebrate that with them. And there are still so many kids in the system. On Saturday, it's my day. It's my day to provide the food and the things that we're going to do and the games we're going to play with the kids. And the reason it's my day is because on Saturday, we are visiting a shelter of domestic abuse. I have gone through this. I understand this. And what a blessing that I have. I'm so grateful for that experience in my life, for this moment in time where I can go and be a blessing, where I can go and have understanding. And if you'd like to help, if you're in alignment with this at all and you want to share your beautiful energy with this group and with this mission and with this tour of hope, I would love to partner with you. Together, we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. Thank you. Mwah!
Okay, bye.
So I want to just introduce Dr. Loren Michaels Harris, who came in as well, who is the visionary behind the Power of We Symposium and behind this legacy tour of hope to Romania. So I don't know if you caught us speaking earlier, Dr. Loren, but I was talking about, when I hear the legacy of Hope Tour for Romania, I just see that going further. I don't know if you've got any inclination of what's to come next, but I see that going to other countries.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about that, Diana, and really, I would say, yeah, Diana and I have talked about it more than anybody, because I feel, hi everybody, you guys look great. Everybody's on their best behavior. I came in, I was like, boy, I know all these people outside of these squares. So it's like so cool. And they know me. Trust me. So that's the great part, because that's the we. That's all of us. That's all of us. Every piece of us is worthy. We have to be everything we can ever need to be in order to find our way to this. So anyway, yeah. Okay, I got my head on my ADHD. Okay, say the question again. I got the answer. I just want to make sure I got all of it.
Yes, just asking basically if you see this going further.
Oh, yeah. Diane, okay, it really was a senior moment. I tried to play it off. It was one bona fide senior moment. You just saw it in real life. So, yeah, we were talking about. I've been getting the download that what's going to happen. One of the things, because it's never about just one thing. One of the things is that I believe, because when you look at the size of Romania, the size of Maryland, and the key to me is the bridge with these kids with these letters. I'm serious. Did you guys watch Henry's yet? Henry's video?
No.
Oh, and I have it in case you don't. That was a changing point, a pivotal point for me, and that just happened this past Saturday. I really believe now that what's going to happen is that it's going to catch like a wildfire. Even in Harry's video, I was instructed to use the match because it was striking something that was going to lead. It started as one spark, and it's going to be a spiritual wildfire before it's all said and done. So one of the things that I've seen that is going to happen is that I believe that towns first, then states later will adopt a country. Everybody, Africa. I love Africa, but good Lord, that's like saying the bell ring. That's the same thing as the bell ringers only at Christmas. That's just like the Girl Scout cookie. I want cookies other times in the year than just that month y'all out in front of the Jewel grocery store. I like Girl Scout cookies, right? But also the bell ringers. People are hungry every day, not just at Christmas. So it's not just Africa, is what I'm saying. So I believe that like these kids are adopting all these places that we're going. They're adopting them. That's what they're doing. And they're adopting each other. Then I've heard 3 times. Here's another thing that we couldn't have seen coming. I've heard 3 people in places of no who have said, through these letters, I wouldn't be surprised at all if an adoption or 2 takes place. Like kids are going to become friends and end up being siblings.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
There's Liam. I was talking to him. That's what I was talking to.
Hello, Liam. We are glad we can see you.
I'm glad I can see you all too.
And hear you. Great. You sound great. You look great. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, because I don't want to monopolize the time, but yeah. So that's just 2 of the things. But again, everybody, one of the most beautiful things about this one that is so different than all the ones I did leading up to this one that we did, because Tracy, you were MC last time, and Liam, you were there. You were Hype Squad last time. And this time, number 1, corporate didn't want anything to do with packages. You could take big chunks out of the budget with corporate sponsors. I'm just keeping it real. A $2,500 one there, a $5,000 one there. No, across the board, 100%. They all went to the GoFundMe, and it was never there before this. A lot of firsts inside of this one. Whenever there's a bunch of firsts, that's because those are sheaths of history making, just cutting through and making the way. We're creating the dialogue that will become the story that people will be telling for a long, long time. And so it's just an honor. I'm sure most of you here, Liam probably not so much because I don't talk to him as often, but I've been telling people for the last couple of weeks, first the universe, God, whatever you believe in, them, greater than me. That's how I refer to them. First, I was in a giant high chair, like in the kitchen. My grown ass size. I wasn't a little baby me. It was a grown ass man, just like this, in a big ass chair. And
now we should have a picture of that.
Oh my God. That's so I promise you. And I'm like, what is this? They're like, play with. I had the alphabet letters off the spiritual refrigerator, the Magnum ones, playing with them. And then they took me out and put me in a playpen so I could see through the netting, watch everything, threw me some toys. I had my little whoopee, everything. As a grown ass man, watch us work. Just watch us work. We got you. I look down there, some Cheetos or something to eat, some snacks, some Cheerios. And I'm like, what is this? Why am I feeling like I'm a big baby in a thing? Because you are totally submerged in all the versions of you. My stories, all of our stories started the moment we were conceived. We were already leaving our mark from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just because of the fastest swimmer or all that. It is the greatest odds. Did you know this? Just to be born, you have beaten the greatest odds known to man. There's no number bigger. It's like 400 quadrillion. There's no number with that many zeros, they say. And so we do that before we ever form a word or thought or speak a word. We've already beaten the greatest. So there, that takes that off the table as a bucket list, I would think. It did for me. Well, I ain't trying to beat any odds then. The odds of being a kid out of this, 1 in 450 million, like it's a lotto. In purpose, it is not luck. So it has nothing to do with lottery mindset. And so I just want to say now, all these things that are happening, and all of you, all that are coming, and all of you that support. Last thing, and then I'm going to shut up. I'm telling you guys, and do this when you appeal to people about the fundraising. Listen, here it is. We are being good stewards. We are placing an opportunity in front of those who have been seeking. If people haven't been seeking, they will not see it within it. That's okay. It's the same thing as why we don't have haters. We only have closet fans. They don't hate us. They don't know us. That's our job, is to get them to trust us and for us to love them all the way into what we know to be true, period. And so there's so many first. And when you see those first, I'm telling you, things are going to happen for every. Do you guys remember when I told you this? Every single person that goes, there's something really big right there. Well, this is going to be an intricate part of clicking all those next things in place for all these individuals, including you doing your part. Right here, Tracy, it's the same. And the people that donate, tell people it is not the amount. That does not matter. We've never gone GoFundMe, but this time we had to. And it's because it's placing the need directly where it should have always been, within reach and in the hands of the people.
Yeah.
I was telling someone today, last thing, Tracy, you and I, if Martin Luther King had not treated the civil rights as it was a movement, you and I would still be using the bathroom in the color only section. It's true, because it was the movement of the people, the grassroots level, the people that have experienced it, that know the feel of that carpet under their feet. They are the best authorities to do something about something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And that's where we come in. And last thing is this. And then I tell people, listen, all the things we do are the tiles to the experience, but it is the spirit in which you donate even a quarter that creates that magical spiritual grout that will hold these tiles together for people to walk and find for a long, long time. And that is the thing that's the hardest to convince people they literally already have, and it's free. It is not the amount of the donation. It is the spirit in which it is given. That is it. That is it. And somehow each of us has watch, everybody is putting this in front of people they thought they knew. But yet and still, we see very little traction. I'll compare that to what we see with all of the mass shootings in this country just since January 1st alone, creeping up on 200.
Yeah.
You see the list of all the schools. I posted that a few weeks ago. It's not hard to see that force literally moving. The only way, now, why do we see that? So that we know literally how hard and heavy and fast we have to move. And a little bit of what we have will always be more than everything that they have. They meaning those things that do not serve. Those things that are stealing our children. And the window to childhood is only this big. And so we have to save these kids by getting in and reminding them whose world we're trying to help them save, not ours. In many ways, it's too late. But they are the ones holding the dustpans and brooms, the mops and the vacuums that will clean the future completely up.
Yeah.
So we need to hear them. We need to put when we go over there, each of us will put our divine gifts in front of them as a microphone of purpose. It will be their voices and their stories, their dreams and aspirations, their divine gifts that come out of the speakers that the world will have a chance to hear. That is what this is going to do. And now I'm done. I am
And
complete.
there's so much.
Now you can
So
take
much.
me out, Brandy.
there's so much that you said there, but on that last part, right, I would imagine too that some of these kids that are coming out of Romania will be a part of the efforts going into other countries later on to help build other children from other areas because of what they've experienced here today. I can see that happening for sure.
Yes. Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
I swear.
No.
Because here it is. I hate to act like I'm monopolizing, but you all, it's so wonderful to share these little things with you when you see the hand of what is greater than us, literally creating a Picasso, a Michelangelo. I mean, it is just incredible. For instance, the T-shirt created. We've been with Triple Nickel almost the whole time we've had Power Way. We had no idea that all along their designer is in Romania. So that is the first. This year, the T-shirt is different than it's ever been. Why? Because it's another first. Now, guess what they showed me? I promise. I saw two variations of this. The first one were two adults who were kids now that we're going to service when we're there. They're going to pass each other in the future as adults with their own children the adults will have those T-shirts on. And they're going to see each other. Where'd you get that T-shirt? And they're going to say, I was there. I was one of those kids. And then they showed me those people, those two T-shirts, kids were wearing them next and said, hey, where'd you get that T-shirt, kid? My grandmother gave it to me. It was at this thing called The Power of We. Way back. Right. I am telling you, there is an anointing on this. And I know I'm interested to hear if any of you have been feeling it. Liam, especially you, because we don't get to see, and you're the dark horse. You're the surprise. And you bring Tim. And I'm telling you, it's just so affirming. What's happening in your world with this? What are you being shown? What are you feeling? Sorry, Tracy, for taking over.
It's okay. That's okay.
I'll give you a small story because I know you, Lauren, especially are. I am a believer that coincidence happens. I know you are a believer that there is no coincidence. That there is all everything is meant for its own reason. Well, I have had my own issues going on in my life, mostly with my grandmother. And things going on, and recently we've had a large issue going on with her helpers, and just not finding the right ones for her to help out, and I've become one of her primary caregivers, which is just not something that can work for someone like me. And recently, a couple days ago, we found what seemed like the perfect woman. She's fantastic. She's very kind. I've never seen her in person or met her in person, but her resume checked out. She was able to get her from point A to point B. She was very kind. She had a specialty, specifically the issues that my grandmother's having. And finally, yesterday, I was going to a funeral, and my grandmother was joining us. And I finally got to meet this caregiver of hers. And she's asking me what's going on and that kind of stuff. And if she tells me to tell her a little bit about myself, and then she asked me, hey, can I see you in a couple of weeks? And I go, no, I'm going on this trip with a nonprofit group to Romania. And she goes, no, really? And she has a thick accent. And I go, yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. And she goes, that's funny. And I go, why? And she's like, well, I'm from Romania. I'm Romanian. And I go, oh, where from? And she's like, well, my family's from Bucharest. My family still lives over there. And I go, no way, that's a location that we're going. And so we got into a conversation where she tried to teach me some verbiage, and I'm terrible with language, but I try my best. And it seemed she's a kind of a stoic woman, but hearing the reasons why we're going, she kind of lit up, and it gave her a sense of invigoration. She was suddenly more engaged. She was suddenly more pliable as a person in a conversation. She was suddenly more willing to participate. And I think people in my life, one thing that I've realized in the work that I've done in nonprofits, especially, but especially when it comes to things that they find important, that people just need a reason to care. And what we're doing, and especially Lauren, I'll give that credit to you because you're very much the impetus of this. But you've always been driven by giving people a reason to care.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we just need the excuse. And you and us beside you are trying to give people a reason to care and to recognize. And so that's how this has been.
That's beautiful.
This is how becoming manipulated in my life, or manifesting itself in my life.
That's
Amen,
Leo.
Yeah.
That's like Triple Nickel and the designer. Being the Romanian DNA is all over it.
Yeah.
And we were chosen out of all the people in the world to work with them on this. Go ahead, Amy.
So I have an Airbnb and my mom says, hey, we have guests. And I said, great. I said, where are they from? And she says, they're Romanian. And I was like, what?
When was this?
I live in Mexico.
I know. When was this?
A couple weeks ago. And I said, are you serious? They're from Romania? She says, yeah. I said, I want to meet them. And so I ran into them one evening and we chatted on the street there. And they've lived in the States for years, but they're Romanian. And they were really thrilled when I told them what I was doing and where I was going. And I don't run into people from Romania like
right.
very often. And so it was just so beautiful. So Liam, I love that. I love that happened. And I love that it's coming to us in different ways. I read something, I feel like I should share this. It says this: people in poverty don't need charity, they need inspiration. And when I read this, I was like, yes, this is what I feel about this group, about the power of we. Yes, we're bringing food and we're bringing some things for them, but it's more about inspiration. It's more about celebration. It's more about opening up their worldview, right? It's about we are together in this. You are not alone. And the power of that and the choices that you can make with that kind of understanding changes your life. So yeah.
Amen.
Yay, amen. So I want to hear from Janine and Tracy as well. What are you thinking as you're hearing these stories? Have you had similar situations happen? What's been coming up for the two of you?
Yeah. Well, number one, how do you top those stories? Like, I'm just listening to them, tears going down my face. But I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. But before this, I didn't even know where Romania was on the map, right? It's like, where is it? And since we've joined this team, this incredible team, started by Dr. Loren, just crazy, amazing things have been happening. And I do want to share the story. We did visit a Romanian church, and afterwards, a lot of the folks are older, lived in Romania all their lives, and we're over in the Dallas area. And now they're here, and then some of them have kids that have never been to Romania that have grown up in the States. So just a variety of folks. And this older woman comes up and she's just bawling, and she's like, bless your hearts, bless you. Oh, I would love to go over there. I'm just not able. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that meant more than anything. Yeah. So do you want to share?
I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so the church I attended up there, they had a really large Romanian population. They actually had their own service too. And I still have contacts with them, and that's how we got into the Dallas church to meet. And it's wild because at the same time, they had a pastor from Romania that was in the States talking about what's going on over there. And it was really great to meet him and to be able to discuss what's going on. So we're going to try to get him involved too somehow, to get involved with the Power of We. And it's just going to be amazing. Can't wait.
Wow. There's all these connections, right, to Romania.
Yeah. Hearts in Sync, just so I don't forget. While you were talking just now, you two, I had a powerful download about you. So call me
Uh-oh.
after the show. Wait till I tell you what I was shown.
Okay.
All right.
Now it was
And
really
we
powerful.
believe everything you say because I
I'm
tell
telling
you
you,
what,
it
you
was really
are
powerful.
anointed.
I heard what you were saying, but I was somewhere else while you were saying it.
And
It
we
was really
know
powerful.
those to be true too. I can tell you firsthand.
It was really powerful. It was really powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, can we talk about the letters? Because that's
Yeah.
another thing that can be happening, I believe, sidecar with the GoFundMe, because it
Yeah.
is now officially in the hands of the people. And it's nice to see something there outside of an election.
Mhm.
I'm going to let that just hang out there and sink in for a moment.
Mhm.
It's nice to see something like that for them without it being attached to an election. But it is out there. So and I really believe that the traction with people giving, it's the widow's mite story thing. There's no judgment. It's a judgment-free zone because you can be anonymous. It is not about, we have to tell them. We cannot leave that out in our postings and things and sharing. It is not about the amount.
Yeah.
It is about the spirit in which you give it. That is the power of we. That is exactly it.
Yeah.
Tap into it, and it is yours forever. Tap into it, Amy.
Yeah, we are energy. Energy is everywhere. We
Yeah.
are one, and so not everyone can go, right? Not everyone's having the
Right.
go. Not everyone
Not
wants to go.
physically.
Not physically, right?
Right, but they can go.
But they can go. That's what we so often lose sight of because we get stuck in this 3D world where this is what's real. No. There's so much more to life that we can't even see. And your energy when you give is felt. It's needed. There's a few of us. We need all of y'all.
All of it.
Like this is big and we need some help. So please, like, come with us with your energy and with your love and with your hearts. Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So they have
I
that.
think
Wait, real quick. So they
okay.
have that piece. No, they've got to understand this. Everybody's got to understand this. The clock is ticking on us. So there it is. There's that, the GoFundMe, no judgment, boom, boom, boom. There's that opportunity. It is out there for those who are seeking. Now, the letters, they are free. It costs nothing. Get ready. Do you guys have Henry's?
No, it said it was too long.
I can do it. You got to do it from the well, I can do it.
Okay.
If it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I want to say something. A lot of us here know Mark Haddis. Anyone that's been to the Power Wing, and they have been Journey's Dream and the Mark Haddis Foundation have made it possible for Power We to move into a lot of places that we could not have moved because they wanted to dictate that we become a nonprofit, and we are a movement. We are not a nonprofit. We are a movement. It stays in the hands of the people, and this time is proving it more than any other time. So this piece with the kids and the letters, any kids you know, any kid that are like middle school or bigger, because we want these letters to really create something. Watch what happened. This kid, and he doesn't know it, but he's with it. Well, he's with us next Thursday when we collect the first 100 and some letters from Jefferson Junior High School here in Naperville, and he's going to be there. He goes to a different school, but so does our ambassador. Sebastian goes to a third school, but they're all going to be there together. And he wrote the very first letter. And I'll tell you guys something. Before I even
Did we lose him?
Uh-oh.
He froze.
Yeah, he froze.
Frozen.
We're going to rebuke that. He's coming right back in. We're going to let him come right back in. But while he's getting his internet back together, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the fact that he was talking about, and Amy, you mentioned this too, your life experiences and how your life experiences have really led you to this point. I know part of your story because you've shared it here. There he is. And hopefully, can you hear us, Dr. Loren? And can you speak? It seems like he's still frozen.
Uh-oh.
I'm kind of back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna play Henry.
All right, let's play Henry and we'll go back to
Okay,
you.
because Comcast on one. I think, do I have control of that or does Brandy? Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Watch him, and I'll tell you afterwards what Mark said. Now, what are your hopes, Henry?
My hopes are that the people who experience this letter are able to take even just like a drop of hope from it during their hard times.
I've seen your letter, and it's absolutely beautiful. How long did it take you to write it?
So the rough draft, it took me probably a day to come up with like the main ideas, and then probably 2 days to like put all that into the actual letter. I actually enjoyed the letter writing experience a lot because I know that I can actually look back on the letter that I wrote because I gave some advice that I know I can use because I still go through problems, and I know that if I'm able to look at the letter and look at the advice, that I can implement that into my life and like during hard times, and it'll help me. It's great.
How incredible would it be if through this letter you made a friend that 50 years from now you were still friends? How would that feel?
Oh, that would be incredible. I mean, I have a few friends that I've known like my whole life, and they're just amazing. And to have somebody go through your whole life with for 50 years, I mean, you'd always have someone to turn to, and during your hard times, and that I know people don't have that. Some people don't have that, and they need to know that there are people in this world that love them and that want them to succeed.
For me, that piece, I'm going to tell you a piece that's not seen in there. Mark was previewing this before Henry and the rest of his kids saw it. And Mark burst into tears. And he goes, Loren, when you asked him that question about 50 years, when he lit up, it was a light I hadn't seen in Henry's eyes since before COVID. And Henry has not been able to watch the video up to that question yet. He got up and walked out of the room right when he was saying the part about what it took to put in the letter. Once the letter came up on the screen, they said he got up and left the room. He hasn't been able to finish the video yet because he's judging that he's not worthy. What I had nothing good to say, and he has no idea of the magic and the legacy that he has just put out there. Yeah. If our kids get the opportunity to find what is truly within reach, because it is already there, greatness is within each of them.
Yeah.
So it's here. I thought everything was to service the kids over there. It is simultaneously, as purpose always will.
Yeah.
It services everything that touches it, including all of us.
Yeah.
And that's all.
That's your one.
Yeah.
But so any kids you know, get them to write a letter. Easy. They just write a letter in their handwriting. I asked Henry, because I had him print that one for the piece. Do you want us to keep this one to send, to take and deliver? Or do you want to use your handwritten one? He goes, no, it must be my handwritten one. Yeah. And they're taking cursive out where kids don't write. No.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're doing, and thank God we don't. Because I believe if we saw just how big this ripple is going to become, it would most likely make all of us run in the opposite direction. So I'm done. And Tracy, thank you for letting it. See why I was trying to be late on purpose.
No,
just slow down. You know.
No, listen. This is what we're here for, right? There's something that you mentioned, and saw that video of Henry. But the realization for that young man to say that not only is it going to help the lives of others, but he already realized that it's helping him. Yeah.
Even I hadn't considered that.
Yeah. Huge. And I'm a boy mom, so
Right.
and right, Amy.
Me too. Right.
Yeah, and you know what I know what they go through, right, as teenagers. Yeah. So, yeah.
He
really
lit up. He truly lit up.
Yeah, absolutely did.
That was.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
he didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It instantaneously.
Yeah.
That's why God said, use that match in the beginning.
Yeah.
You saw it. The spark. That's what we saw. That's all that they're waiting for.
Yeah.
Somebody give them permission to strike their match.
Yeah.
That's it. We convince them to strike their match. It'll burn everything away that does not serve this world.
Yeah.
It always has.
Yeah.
And it always will.
Yeah. You think about that too, just the rise out of whatever it is, the depression, the hunger, the rise that comes out of that from what you just talked about, right? The inspiration, the hope. That the fear stops, the doubt stops, and the rise comes, right? Yeah, I'm emotional here, but yeah, I mean, what you're doing.
Just think about it, you guys.
Yeah.
What really happened in that moment was I asked him a question that catapulted his view to the future, to a specific point in the future.
Yeah.
And it was attached to something wonderful, as if it had never been considered.
Yeah.
That's how we extend their boundaries.
Yeah.
And when we extend and remove boundaries, we create possibilities, just like the things that a circle of possibilities, so they can give it to theirs, and they can give it to theirs, and they can give it to theirs, just like it was given to us.
Yeah.
It is the same frequency, the same fluid. It is the same bolt of cloth we have all been cut from. And all of our ancestors. We just are in this place right now. I feel like we're in the 60s when they went to Haight-Ashbury and all of those things that were historically monumental, Stonewall, all of those places, the AIDS quilt. I'm just calling out those things, the 9/11 museum, those things that people create and didn't even know they were creating it from all directions, from tragedy to triumph and back again. We are in the midst of it, I tell you this. And how incredible is it? Doesn't it make you say, no matter how rough you think things were in your world, every single thing that you lived through got you here. How bad could they have been?
Mm-hmm.
They brought us to this sacred moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gift in everything.
Yeah. And talk about that a little bit too, because I know you have said that, okay, everybody has their days. And I know Amy's story and where she's going, right, speaks to the experience that she had so that now she can help others. So I want everybody to talk about their days and what it means for them and what life experiences they've had that have led them to this point to be able to come into those days that you're doing here in Romania.
Well, I think all our life is character building moments. And through those experiences, now at our age, we have the aha moment. And so now if we can translate that into helping the kids, because they've been through a lot of character building moments now, and we don't have to wait for the future for them. If they get the aha moment now, like Henry did, if we can help pass that along, man, just think what they could do with the world to change now, not have to wait for the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think of myself at 17. I think of the woman that I am today, and at 17, I'm getting all emotional because I struggled with depression, and I was suicidal. And I think of the people that were in my life at that time, and would I be here still today? You know, would I have grown as much as possible? And it really just melts me. I mean, we could sit here and say, oh, we're singer-songwriters, you know, none of that matters, because all we care about is just sharing our story in the hopes that they say, oh, wow, it doesn't matter where you are on this planet. There's a universal language. I know they say it's love, but it's also about connecting. And a lot of us have stories. These kids have stories. And it just, oh my gosh, it just melts my heart.
Yeah. Amazing. I think we lost Dr. Loren.
No. Away. No.
But before we end the show, because we're coming up to the end of the show, but just want to hear from each of you, you know, I guess share some expectations, if you have any, right, of, you know, or hopes of what you want to come out of this even further.
I expect complete magic. That's what I expect.
I'm expecting a revolution. I mean, literally, like she said, magic beyond our expectations and hopes. We have so much abundant hope. And, you know, I have to be kind of selfish right now. I'm looking forward to the local cuisine because you know what? You never know, a different country, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Nice. What's to go next? Liam?
I had to run out and get the GoFundMe link for Brandy. You know what? Can I just say my last thing and I'm done? Amy, I've already told you what I've seen for you from this thing. And Hearts and Sink, I was going to say, call me. You don't have to. I'm going to tell you right here. Because Liam, one came for you too. I hope it doesn't scare you. Seriously. But I'm dropping it just the way it came in, hot. So Hearts and Sink, I'm going to tell you something. When you were talking and I was somewhere else, I actually saw you receiving a Dove Award.
Oh my goodness.
I actually saw you receiving I saw it. And all I see all over you, it's like a watermark. It was like a watermark all over everything I was watching through, was telling you, stay in the lane. The Christian music thing has your name all over it. So I'm just telling you, I saw that. So I don't know what you're planning, but if it should connect. And then Liam, listen, trust me. There's a reason you're attracted to all those Elon Musk stories they say, and learning and watching everything about him. Yeah, there's a reason for that. And you're going to find out, and it's not that far away. And you know what that means. So that came for you. So I'm just saying, I think everybody, before they board that plane to leave for Bucharest, look over the shoulder to the life you've lived up to that very moment. I think you'll be afforded a view of every single second that matters the most to you. Take a good look, because you will be leaving as one person. And I guarantee you will never come back as that person again. And that's a good thing. Something everybody's going to jump. Everybody is going to jump. And all the things that you thought nobody saw, all the things that you think are the weakest parts of the infrastructure, well, you'll see. So, wow. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome. I just want to give Liam also an opportunity to answer the last question. And then, unfortunately, we have to end the show.
No, we don't.
This is too good.
Amazon Fire and Roku.
Wait, well, no, we don't.
Else can stay. We can go to the top. Look.
no, we don't, because we're on Trajectory TV. we got the CEO right here.
You have my permission.
But Liam, I just wanted you to
I know
answer
that's.
that question as well.
Ooh, Liam.
Liam. Mm-hmm.
I don't have any expectation. Um, I don't. I think for myself that's a disservice. Because if I expect something, then I will act to make it happen, and I think that's not it. It's a more as I will be more genuine of an individual if I just kind of allow myself to react to things and help where I can, because I don't fully know, right? But I personally hope less so on speaking, less so on having like wide, light, soft effects. But I hope just to have. I just want a few good conversations. In reflection, I find myself remembering the few good conversations over the many wide array light effects and the people that I have heard speak. But I very deeply remember the few conversations that I've had, and I've made decisions off that, and those have been impactful. And I hope that I'm able to have a few good conversations.
I love it. And that's a real honest and genuine answer. And I love that. I love that you said, I don't really have the expectation, just want to go in and be genuine, and allow what's supposed to come.
Exactly. That's that's mine.
Yeah.
That's my only expectation is I want a front row seat, a bird's eye view, a sniper's perch, a deer stand. I want all those perspective points so that I can watch this thing happen. My expectation is to watch it become.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice to just watch a masterpiece created. It's just amazing. If anyone here knows what that means, raise your hand. Just so far. Where's your hand, Liam? Oh, okay. Raise two because you're raising for Tim too.
And we miss Timmy Chung here.
We do. He's in that corporate giant mouth getting chewed up. I'm just kidding. He's doing it so that he can go do this. But I'm glad because he's getting ready to get dipped in renewal. Yes. So Amy, love you. Liam, man.
Do you have the link, the GoFundMe link for everybody?
I gave it to her.
It's here. Brandy posted it on YouTube and on Facebook. It's there. It's on the post that I put on Facebook earlier today. So it's out there.
Come with us, people. Come with us.
Yes, please. And listen, we ask you to just show your love and support. Help to inspire these children and families.
But
if even just imagine if 100,000 people contributed $1, right?
So
well, and I'm gonna just say this because I've been doing it all day. I can give you my call records. I call everybody. See, this is why we don't go around with our hands, palms facing the ceiling. We don't do that. Rock stars don't do that. We're about service. But when we do come around and that palm is up, there shouldn't be any questions. There shouldn't be any questions. So the thing about it is, it's time to get on the phone. Today I called those people. I need to know, do you still have your box seats in this sacred circle? Because I shouldn't have to chase someone seeking this truth. And I just bring it to them like that. Sometimes we all need a nudge. Listen, we're not being pushy. We're being fiercely protective. Every kid that dies, there goes the cure for some type of cancer. Every kid that dies, there goes the next Picasso or Michelangelo or Martin Luther King, or take your pick. Let's get her done. It is the power of we. Once we see it, we cannot unsee it. So let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, everybody. Get in there.
Thank you. We're going to thank you. I was going to say, we're going to thank you in advance for your love and support because we know that you are going to move after this evening's show. So please, the GoFundMe link is right here on the show page. It's also on YouTube. You can find it on our social media. Any one of us here, you can find it on our social media. So please, we just ask for your love and support in advance and your prayers. And we thank you.
And blessing. And I'm putting the giving spell on you.
Thank you everyone for joining. This was amazing. I appreciate you being here and just sharing your hearts for this tour. So we thank you, and we will see you all next week, Wednesday, right here on the Whole Living Show.
Bye.